Good morning to you. It's Daybreak at iFiber One News Radio. I'm Jeff Slakey. We're diving on deep to a great conversation with the Port of Shelton here. And let's say good morning to Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith. Good morning, gang.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good. I know you guys have been having a lot of good meetings lately as we move closer and closer to budget time. And tell me a little bit about what's been happening in the last week.
Well, this Monday we had a workshop meeting with the commission and staff concerning the dock replacement on the south dock replacement down in the marina.
Mm-hmm.
Good discussion. It's a very complex issue and a very expensive issue. The price right now, the estimated cost would be $2.8 million for that dock replacement, which is a heck of a lot of money for us. I mean, that is a huge chunk of revenue. So we have to make some decisions on how we're going to pay for that and how much we can pay for it. So things will continue on. We're going to have another, this Friday, the contractor, Art Anderson, who's the design engineering firm that we've contracted, is going to come through and go down and look at it and consult with us and our staffs to see, just to discuss the project and see where we are, and we'll see what's going to come out of it.
I mean, you're right. These projects are complicated and very time-consuming when you have to deal with water and in and out of the flows of the tides.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and then the permitting of it with involves with the Corps, Army Corps engineers, ecology, plus all the other stuff that you have to do for permitting. It's a complex project to do. It's just not go down there and throw some planks in the water.
Yeah, let them float and be done.
And walk on them. Yeah,
I think it used to be like that a little more. But
yeah, I mean that was the old way of doing
anymore.
business, but we can't do that anymore.
No, we're seeing what happened in years gone by and make those decisions. Wow, tough.
It is tough, and I think just to add on, it was a great discussion. It's really it's tough because people think, the port, we do well, we have tenants, we bring in money, but none of that money can go to the dock. All that money, like at Sanderson Field, we have deed restrictions. So Sanderson Field money stays at Sanderson Field. We are obligated. We have to prove that to the state auditors every time we get audited. I mean, it's a big deal. So we can't just say, we have all the savings. We sold some timber a few years ago. Different story with Johns Prairie. We're not under restriction, but we, in our own comp plan, we say that we want our properties to be self-sustaining. Well, that means they're supporting themselves.
Yeah.
So that just brings a whole nother issue. Yeah. So it's a tough discussion. It's tough because the population at the marina is small. We don't have 1,000 slip marina like Anacortes does, or bigger, Ilwaco, and commercial fishing boats that pay a different rate. We have a very small group that to put that kind of dollars on their backs doesn't make a lot of sense either. So it's a real balancing act of how we go about doing it and where we can find funding. We're looking at, they're bringing it, their grant expert on Friday and hopeful discussions on, it's a permanent moorage dock. It's not transient, but what if we put all the flupsies on that dock? Would that be grant eligible? So we're looking at every little bit, including, discussions about, is there a partnership somewhere? Mm-hmm. Is there, some entity that has a stake in this, wants to see more aquaculture, something like that, would maybe think about. So we're looking at everything, trying to figure this out and decipher. Does it have to be done? Absolutely. The dock is in disrepair. Our maintenance crew is fabulous. They're amazing, and they're down there all the time fixing things. They were just down there this week and last week doing corner brackets that have rusted out and been the dock's kind of like this, and they're sturdy today, but we get that first big wind and so it's tough. It's a big
with all ports where you can't cross pollinate the money?
If you're getting federal funds for an airport, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on or if there's some other deed restriction for some other, entity, whether it was like a BPA or it was a something like that, then you would have to keep those funds. And that's so the question is, well, what if we made money to support the airport and maybe there's excess that we could shift. You just can't. I mean, it's the money made at the airport stays at the airport. Different with Johns Prairie. Yeah, we could use that pot of money,
and we do.
Yeah,
sure.
and we can. And tax money. Tax money is not designated for, it has to go here or there, so we can be creative that way. But yeah, we're pretty limited. And the marina's not the money maker that, our other properties are. There's just not. There's no, it's monthly mortgage, and we aren't gouging those tenants down there. So there's no business down there that's making us, a bunch of money. So yeah, it's tough. It's a really tough, complex.
Sounds like that number was maybe a little surprising. Was it 2.8 million?
Yeah, 2.8.
I think.
Well, I knew it was going to be high.
Right.
But I didn't know it was going to be that high.
Because it includes full redo of electrical. When you do that, then you got to put new stanchions. It includes new pilings. So there's a lot that goes into flotation. Not to mention just all the things that you kind of don't think about, and that's bringing in the cranes to do the piling. All the mobilization of the equipment is a huge
And then what do you do with
cost.
the create-soaked pilings that you take out? That's all part of it.
Demo
So
fees.
you got to take care of that. So. That's all in the estimate.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's big. So, and you think, okay, well, what could we do? Could we add a fuel dock? Well, I mean,
Do we want?
how many people come?
Do we want a fuel dock here in Oakland Bay?
That's
right,
a good question.
with the aquaculture.
With the
and
aquaculture.
Olympia one had one for a long time, then it went away, and it just recently came back. But there are concerns.
But and theirs is not a closed circuit system or a confined system like ours is essentially.
Yeah, and I think to assume that people were gonna come down Hammersley just to fuel up probably doesn't make a lot of sense either. Most of the fueling docks you see are
out there on a transit area. If somebody's passing by, they can go in and fuel.
Sure.
And you think, oh, if you had slips, maybe, but there's always the potential that those, we've seen Bremerton close ports, do different things, and they've added slips and upgraded, and they have half-empty marinas. We're a very full marina. We, one leaves and one comes, and we don't have that vacancy problem, but.
And if you start adding slips, it gets bigger, and the project gets bigger.
Project gets bigger.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're limited as how big we can go by some of the permitting requirements because of the what do they call it? The overwater cover. I forget what that term
shadowing
is.
and
shadowing of
overwater coverage.
Overwater coverage. So
the fact that we don't own all those tide lots. We lease tide lots from Simpson, and we have an agreement with DNR to use tide lots, and so there's different things that are kind of inhibiting our growth as well.
Wow.
But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
So any suggestions? Let us
know.
know.
Let us know.
Thinking about it, see what we can do. What else has been going on that you're kind of focusing on?
Well, Johns Prairie. So yesterday I had the ability to sign our contract for the Lynch Creek curb loan grant.
Cool.
So that is going to become official as soon as the chair of the curb board signs it, which I think is next week at their meeting. So so that'll become a real it's in the pre-contract stage now, but of course we're working like crazy. The roofers are out there doing their thing, and the paving project, I believe, if they haven't gotten started, they're probably pretty close to starting. There's a lot of stuff. You get awarded the bid, and then you do a bunch of paperwork, and it's just a turnaround thing. So that's getting going. So yeah, things are moving quickly. And on the property to the north, the Fraser curb property, we're just, if it's not already in the hands of the county, it's getting there for the permit for the septic on that. So that's getting going, and so things are really moving out there. And so.
Well, keep us updated. You got some big decisions to be making here in the next
and then the
couple
budget
of
process starts.
That's right.
The
Budget's
budget
coming
process.
quick.
Yeah, it comes quick. So we want to get that has to be done by first part of October.
Yeah,
right?
I think our hearing will be October 3rd. It has to be. It's the first Tuesday after the first Monday in October.
October, whatever date
by
that
law.
is. Yeah, by law, and we'll do that. And so we've got a lot of homework to do to get to that point. Staff will be busy with that, and the auditor and that sort of thing.
Okay. Dick
So-
Taylor and Wendy Smith here for the Port of Call this Wednesday morning, and we meet weekly at this time to talk business for the Port of Shelton. So good to see you guys. Have a
Good to
week,
be here.
and